Hey, so I'll have a little bit of a thing I want to show you guys. Okay, so I think this is recording my voice. I hope it is, because I'm making a video and I want to talk about something. So this was on an asexual video on YouTube that I watched, and I put this comment. And I was very disappointed that after all that I said, there was quite a few people who said that my comment was meaningless, and one person even said that I offended them just because I talked about sex. My mum just rang me, of course she did, she always interrupts every time. I think she always knows when I'm making a video. And that's when she chooses to ring me or call me. Anyway, so yeah, apparently offended somebody because I talked about sex on an asexual video. That's not really true. I'm going to read it to you now, and you guys can tell me if you really think this is offensive or meaningless or whatever. So I'm going to put my opinion after I've read this bit. So I said, I have got to say that I don't really think that the world is pressuring any individual into having sex just because it's splashed around and mentioned in every TV program, films and books, which is what they said in the video, that, people felt that, asexuals felt like they were, everybody's being pressured because sex is like everywhere in songs, all the things I've just mentioned, which they mentioned in the video. So I put, I really don't think anybody cares if you like/want sex or not. Nobody, as in the world, is going to force you to like or want it. But the problem comes when you meet somebody and you start to really like them, as in the opposite sex, a love interest, somebody you really want to maybe get into a relationship is what I'm saying here. You start to really like them, but they start to pressure you into having sex. That's the only sex I mentioned. Then you have to get out of it, and that could ruin your relationship. I guess it doesn't make sense there. Maybe they got confused by that bit. But I don't see how they can get offended by the fact that I'm talk about sex, because I wasn't really talking about sex. I just mentioned the word because, down below I talk about my own experience, and surely that's allowed. No matter how short or long it is, and that's pretty sad, then that's when it becomes a problem. I personally am not asexual, I don't think. I mean, I get strong sexual urges now and then. Maybe they got offended by that bit, I don't know. But like I say, I was just talking about my own experience and how sometimes I think that maybe I'm asexual, but I don't really think that I am. I don't know. I just know that I'm not really into just having sex with, like, as soon as I fancy a guy, I'm not thinking, well, I want to have sex with him straight away. I would like to get to know the guy first and maybe be in a relationship first. Whereas most guys, as soon as they know that you fancy them, they think that you're immediately going to have sex with them, hop into bed with them that night or the next day. And that is what I was trying to say in this comment, but I guess it didn't really come across. I mean, I get strong sexual urges now and again, but I would rather wait to meet the right person and know them for a while before having sex. And perhaps in the meantime do other stuff like kissing, touching, massaging, no oral or... Yeah, I even said that. Maybe they just get offended by these words. I don't know. I don't see why I can't say words. Like, it's ridiculous that words offend these people. It's not like I was going into detail about all the things I wanted to do to a bloke, or like talking about my experiences and saying, oh yes, and I did this and we did that. It's not like I said anything like that. Experiences without the other person expecting more. ASAP, as in the full sex. It's frustrating to me because I want to flirt, I want to do the other stuff, but I don't want the other person, as in the bloke, to expect sex straight away and start pressuring me like in my last relationship. I think I'm more demisexual. Also, please don't bite my head off, but I really don't think that asexuality and demisexuality is a sexuality unto itself. Maybe that offended them. Only because surely you can be asexual or demisexual and still be straight or gay. Having sex doesn't define being attracted to a specific gender, so surely you can be ace or demi and still prefer men or women, or both. And you find one more attractive than the other for a relationship. I'm not saying that they aren't valid, I'm just saying that, yeah, and I just repeated myself. So, maybe that doesn't make sense, but like I say, in my own head, I guess things make sense, but then to other people, they don't. It's really frustrating when people don't understand what you're trying to say. What I'm trying to say is asexual is not really a sexuality, because you can still be gay or straight. So your sexuality is gay or straight, not asexual, not demisexual. That is just something that, you know, about you. Like, you don't particularly like sex, and that's asexual. And demisexual is where you are like me, and you prefer to wait for the right person, and you prefer to wait until you're in a relationship, and you know that you both love each other, or at least like each other very much, and they treat you right, you treat them right, and all that sort of stuff. That's demisexual. So basically that's normal. That's the sexuality everybody's had, in the olden days, where they would wait until marriage and stuff like that. So that's kind of, so you made sure you're in a established relationship, like marriage first, before you. So I don't really think that it's it's a sexuality that is separate from anything else. It's just something about you that's private, and it doesn't really need to be put into a category like LGBT, because it's not like you're going to be judged for being asexual or demisexual, but people might be judged for being gay, and that's why there's the LGBT movement, I suppose. But yeah, I guess it is like hard to meet other people like that, so I guess they do need to be in a specific category, if that makes sense. Like, they do need to have like their own, I don't know, like, a place where you can meet specifically asexuals and demisexuals. Maybe that's why it needs to. Oh